How's it going, everybody? Hey, Thriller. How you doing, baby boy? Good to see you. Good to see you. And it's good to be here. Obviously, you know, like every day, it's going to be mixed good news and mixed bad news. And the good news. Let's start off right with that. Let's start off with some good news, why don't we? Hey, that works, man. That works. So, for starters, I got a new logo. I've got it on everything now. So, look forward to that. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you think those look like N's. Me and Theo went through a lot of trouble getting this thing right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The first copy, the R, looked a little bit like a swastika. Thank you. Oh, thanks for the host, Thriller. But yeah, it came out really funky, and we were trying everything to just make it work. And this is what we got. I like it. I don't know. I like it. I like the little button there. It's pretty good. But I've got the whole deal. I got a new emote on the way for subscribers and not subscribers. Might want to look forward to that. I don't know what's taking so long. I put it in on Monday, and usually it takes like a few hours for them to approve it. I don't know what they're having trouble with, but new emote on the way. Which, God, whenever they approve it, it's already in. So, that's a start. Let's see here, what else we got? We got some more stuff coming. Me and Theo are working hand in hand on this. Theo Dillon, if you don't know. He's offered to help me for very low price. I really appreciate him. While I'm still on the job search. And yes, still on the job search. Have not gotten any callbacks. It is what it is right now. We'll fucking deal with it. Whatever. Keeping our head up. Keeping positive. Okay. Let's keep the good news train rolling. By getting to the news. Have you guys been on Twitter yesterday? Because some fun stuff came out on the old hell site. Andy Ngo was fired from Quillette after a video surfaces of him doing exactly what we were saying he was doing for months. His defenders, it doesn't fucking matter. Did that mean they should have been punched in the head? No. The shit that he did, though, does require little bit of punching, because he was working with Patriot Prayer. He's seen on this video, you know, he was so steadfast about reporting about political violence when it came from the left, so on it. He's like, yes, violence on both sides is a problem, yet he wasn't reporting on this. Oh, God. I didn't realize this was so long. So, what happened was, this person who's videotaping right now is doing sort of an undercover sting of the Patriot Prayer. Hey, Frozen Harley Quinn.
Photographer that just happened to stumble upon us. He went to the same high school that one kid went to that we were talking to earlier.
But Andy Ngo is seen on here while they're planning an attack against Antifa. You'd think that if you were a fair reporter, you'd want to report that. Let's find him. I know he's in here. God, did they have the abridged one? I wish they would have clipped it out. Fuck.
Okay. So yeah. Sometimes they're like.
We're gonna skip around a little bit.
Dude, say the Autobots line.
Autobots line.
Transform and roll out. Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yeah.
There's Andy. There he is. All right. Marching with them. Just kind of listening with headphones in, listening to some music, you know, whatever.
I don't know.
Well, they were. Who was texting Joey?
So up in the air.
Yeah. Well, I want to say sunglasses.
This guy is actually leftist. He infiltrated Patriot Pair to get there, because literally what's going on in Portland is a PR war. And the right is winning because our news is fucking stupid and only reports on violence on the left wing because they want to court Trump voters. But so we have to do this shit ourselves. It sucks that we have to, but we gotta win. There's Andy walking around. You know, hang on. They're talking about Joey Gibson, the leader of Patriot Prayer, convicted felon for violence against people, assault and battery. You know. Again, where was... Jay, thank you. Good to see you. So, where were they? Where was Andy on this? He's right in there. He knew what was going on. How could you miss it? He's hanging out with them. You could just saw him. He's right there. He's right there. He's right there.
There's no more direct sunlight, so my pasty ass is
He's not getting in there. He's not getting in their faces.
We walked by it, so of course there's gonna be teenagers there. Yeah, he said he was a photographer. He talked to Steve. They had a conversation. I mean, I think he's 16. He's just, skinny.
Seems like an objective journalist wouldn't just be hanging out with one side and then getting in the faces of the others.
I would say plus or minus 5, guess 46.
They're talking about their numbers.
Am I... Guess how old
And
I
he's
am.
still there.
So
There
was
he
I
is.
right? Are you 46? Or maybe I guess...
Is this gonna go by himself? Okay.
So there is currently a single member going over there. Oopsie. Shit. That's super far away.
Hey, Igloo.
Yeah. How far away is it supposed to be? I don't see anything. Just a block away?
That next round building right there. As soon as you go down, it takes up like a whole. Well, it doesn't take up a whole block, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We won't watch the whole thing.
Oh, gosh.
But again, you'll see Andy in his blue
Would
shirt.
across the street or around the corner be a better shooting angle to get
Across
this?
the street.
Across the
This
street?
is
Okay,
before
Dude,
there
thanks.
was that fight that was reported as just Antifa violence at the Cider Fest. They only reported on the Antifa violence. They didn't report on this. This is why Andy no longer works. That's why he worked at Quillette. Because he got in there and he was friendly with them. He was painting the right wing as, oh, they're just hanging out. You'll hear them talk about having weapons. They'll show the weapon. They'll talk about how they want to make sure they know where the direction of the wind is going so they don't spray themselves in the eyes because they're using pepper spray. That's how they're trying to pick that fight. And if you have only one side being blamed for all the violence, that's how you win a PR war. But also, you get to do your own violence, which they do, en masse. They've hurt a lot of people. You know, I have no sympathy for Andy. None. You know, him getting punched in the head, I'll deal with that. Especially knowing that his actions led to the doxing of a journalist after he was hanging out with people while they broke the same person's neck. And that was the Proud Boys that work with Patriot Prayer. And gets on Twitter, denies that there was any violence. What? Oh, they didn't actually hurt themselves. No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I was there. It didn't happen. Their neck just happened to separate somehow. And, oh, by the way, this is the person's name, and this is where they live. Just, you know. Sneaking, Andy will be back on mainstream media in a year after everyone forgets about this stuff. Yes, yes. He's in there already. Like, all these mainstream media outlets took his side, had him on. He claimed he had a brain hemorrhage from getting punched, twice? Once in the face and once in the back of the head? And having milkshake dumped on him? You know, I'm not pro-violence. I'm very much not. I gotta say that. But I do not feel sorry for Andy Ngo what happened. At all. Because of shit like this. And we said that he was doing this. How many times does the left have to be 100% right about what we're telling the mainstream media, libs, and conservatives what's going on? How many times do we have to be right about that? We told them Milo Yiannopoulos was a Nazi. Guess what? He's got caught on video with Nazis, singing to them, being friends with them. He got caught with emailing back and forth, friendly with Nazis. He got caught having a password referencing the Night of the Long Knives. He turned out to be a fucking Nazi. We were right. Every goddamn time. And in the most obvious way. We shouldn't even have to come up with this much proof as to how right we are at this point. Because we, so far, have 100% rate of predicting this shit. And nobody listened. Nobody listened. Because it confirmed their bias. Antifa are the real fascists. Not these guys who are literally lying, literally talking about, lying about what's going on, and doing everything in secret to cause violence themselves, so that they can retaliate with their own violence. That won't get reported on. Because Antifa, a decentralized feeling you can have to be anti-fascist, not a group. There are no leaders. There's no membership you get to be in Antifa. You just show up and say, I want to fight fascism. Those are fascists. You know it when you see it. Unless you're an idiot lib. And you say, I'm going to fight that by any means necessary. I don't want you in my neighborhood. And then you fight. That's considered Antifa violence. But they, anyone who claims to be Antifa is seen as violence. Now, not all people in Antifa are violent. There's no plan for Antifa. There's no in Antifa. There's Antifa sediments. It's not a group. It's a choice. It's a feeling. It's a stance to get behind. It's like saying Medicare for all. Or that healthcare is a human right. I believe that healthcare is a human right. I'm not in a group called Healthcare is a Human Right. To be anti-fascist is to be anti-fascist. Simply put. And these guys are definitely fascists. All you need to do is look at the policies that they're pushing. The pro-immigration. Meaning, I want brown people to be sent back to wherever they came from, regardless of what's going to happen to them. I don't care about their violence. Why do we have a moral obligation to these people in these other countries? And I explained that. I explained that a number of times, why we have a moral obligation to those people in these countries. Because we fucked up their countries. We did. Oh, that was a long time ago. 2006? One of the main countries that they're coming from, we broke it in 2006. That ain't a long time ago. I was still an adult then. But, okay. We were right.
I'd stay on this side. I'd stay on our side.
It's every single time.
Man, we're burned, so.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's the other one I was trying to think of.
Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah,
I don't think
2009.
I have dudes with them.
2009 in Honduras. Another country that they're coming from. We instigated a coup. Barry is right. I knew there was a more recent one. I couldn't remember which one. I think El Salvador was the one we did in 2006. But that was a long time ago. What? That was, that was just that was when we were crazy warmongers under Obama. Right, conservatives? Mm-hmm.
Be nice to the Oregon Democratic.
There's Andy
Senator
again.
Right around the corner, right?
Wait. Like for the party? What's a Democratic Center? Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, here's the
Democratic
great part
Center.
of the video.
Party? What's it? Wait.
Headquarters, the Oregon Democratic Center, right around the corner, right?
Wait. Like for the party? What's a Democratic Center? Gotcha. Okay. Huh.
There he is.
Yes. What's that?
We're just checking which way the wind was blowing so we don't spray ourselves.
Does he look like he's reporting on anything? Does he look like he's taking notes? Because he doesn't. Because he didn't talk about this. Wasn't the U.S. involved in the regime change in Libya too? Yes. We took out Gaddafi. But I'm talking about Central America. I don't know how many immigrants we get from Libya. But, we should be taking them in. Because there's no negative. There's no negative here. Unless you believe that immigrants are just inherently bad for your country. But they're not. 110%. Like, how many studies do they have to do? They bolster our economy. They're not taking our jobs, which is always really funny to me that conservatives, they say, oh, the world doesn't owe you shit. Except that's my job and that brown person took it. A good logical consistency there. But listen to what they're talking about here. This is important.
Yeah, that would suck.
It's blowing out of the northwest.
I think it's whatever. It's blowing that way. So, yeah. That happened to me last year. It's cool, but it's not fun. I got pepper spray. Whatever one got called.
They're talking about pepper spray.
Yeah, I got hit. I got hit by the fucking trash can, man.
Oh, really?
I was like,
through a trash can?
well, I was walking like this, like filming, like I was at the front of the procession with Gibson and Company, getting a good shot, and then I hear this like, and I turn around and some chick took one of those big, like thick trash cans and just,
Oh, yeah. One of our guys threw it back at her.
Yeah. He was right next to me. I was the person that got hit.
Oh, really?
Do you see that? Do you see that?
Dude, I had a bruise. I turned my knee, thankfully.
Oh,
No,
That's a police baton. These non-violent protesters have a police baton. Keep in mind also, and I keep repeating this because it won't sink through to people. These people were bussed into Portland. And who is Antifa? The citizens of Portland. Nothing weird there, right?
Yeah, if you look at Mike Bivens' video, he has video of the guy throwing it back, and I'm like skimpering around because there was a fucking riot.
Yeah, that was after the first freaking brawl.
Yeah, man.
That was like the second.
So I'm just getting all antsy now. Yeah, a little bit. I left my jacket in my car because, like, you know.
It's so freaking warm out there.
Yeah, but you know, it's like 6.
Yeah. They start talking to each other. Hey, Dad's amazing. They start talking to each other about, you know, oh, who's got the weapon? Who's got the weapon? Oh, I got the weapon. So they're referring to the guy with the baton. Now that's one of those collapsible ones too, so you can kind of hide it. And that's not a bug, that's a feature. Fascism is all about winning this PR war. What you see is not what you see. They only show you what you need to see to promote their cause. So this comes out. Quillette fires him. Andy Ngo takes Quillette out of his bio and won't talk about it. Yeah, that's Patriot prayer. And Andy Ngo was right there, not reporting jack shit about that before there was a giant riot that got reported as only Antifa violence. Only Antifa violence. They knew what they were doing. When you have the media on your side, for some reason, when you have the police on your side, you can control the narrative. We lefties have been telling you this for months. Now years, actually. And you didn't listen. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. We have 100% track record now. Every single one that we called out as being some sort of fascist, working with fascists, whatever. The receipts come out. Every single time. So excuse me if I don't shed a tear for his fake brain hemorrhage. Oh, and if any Andy Ngo defenders are in my chat or watching me right now, and they're like, my favorite thing to troll on Andy Ngo's Twitter is his supporters who are like, you should sue the city. No. He's never going to do that. Let me tell you why. So, he would have to sue for damages because he at this point can only go to his civil court. Well, then he would have to prove his damages. And by damages, we mean he would have to provide medical records showing what his diagnoses were and what his bills were. And if he does that, GoFundMe has a very, very stringent rule that you cannot lie about why you're getting the money. He said it was for medical bills. He got $200,000 donated to him through GoFundMe to help with his medical bills. Those medical records come out in a court of law. Therefore, it's evidence. And it doesn't say brain hemorrhage, the arachnoid brain hemorrhage or whatever he said. Well, he has to give that money back. Legally. He would be taken to court by GoFundMe. And he'll never do it. He knows that. Because these people have been caught before. Shit, remember the wall fund? That was hilarious. They tried to keep that money. It didn't go to the wall. They tried to keep that money. They said, oh, it's going to other efforts. And GoFundMe was like, no, fuck you. You can't say that. That you're supposed to donate it to the cause that you said you were going to donate it for. You got millions of dollars. They had to give the money back. Well, they got sued into oblivion because they spent a bunch of it. They owed that money back. Wah. I live near Berkeley and see how it goes down out here. We have another group called BAMN. What does that stand for? I'm curious about that. But I mean, again, this is always painted as Antifa violence. It's always violence on the left. It's always violence on any reaction on the left is considered bad. We have to be perfect children because we don't understand the world and how it works, which for some reason is always from the perspective of the right wing. Weird that.